ECO3 coming at you. My ECO3, not theirs. Some deja vu. Whew. That was weird. Let's go ahead and do ECO3. I'm going to have to rename the boys one to ECO4. Yikes. Yikes! Center, tangent. Drawing a picture works. It's helpful. It's a little helpful. Negative 11, negative 12, sure. Ooh, whoa, no, wait. Negative 11, negative 12. And then x equals negative 10. So it's tangent, and here's the center. So it's got to look like that a little bit, right? And this is at negative 10. So the radius is what? The radius is 1, right? It's 1 away. You can see it. So graph paper helps, right? And you'll always have graph paper in my class. So we've got x plus 11 squared plus y plus 12 squared equals 1, right? Because the distance is 1. Try number 12 on your own. Okay. N value here is 9, right? Because we've got a distance of 3 between the center and x equals 12. Let's draw it out real quick. So 15 comma negative 13. And x equals 12. So, and that distance again is 12 to 15, which is 3. So the radius is 3, so 9. So it's going to be x minus 15 squared plus y plus 13 squared equals 9. All right, let's move on. Try to make this one a little quicker for you. Okay. We did these ones the other day, and I think you guys did great on them, but just to go over them again, I'm giving you tangent lines, 3 of them, okay? And you have to find the equation of the circle when I give you the 3 tangent lines. You don't have the center, you got nothing, okay? So drawing a picture here is super, super helpful. In graph paper, again, that will be your savior. So I've got 3 lines, x equals 8, right? X equals 12, and y equals 1. Okay, so now it's in the 4th quadrant, which is the last key here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're saying, Mr. Travis, I don't know which one it's in. Yeah, it's in this one because it said the 4th quadrant. So if it's tangent here, it's got to look like this. Okay, so it's lying in the 4th quadrant, and again, the majority of it, the center of it, lies in the 4th quadrant somewhere here. Okay, so our line in an equation form. My radius is 2. Okay. So my n value is 4, and my center lies at 10, negative 1. So 10, obviously, right, because 8 and 12, halfway through that is 10. And negative 1 would be the distance between how the center goes to the top. So the radius to the top is my 2 units there. And I can put it this way. X minus 10 squared plus y plus 1 squared. And that, what did I say? 2, so 4, because 2 squared. 2 units to the top is my radius. Bam! Try 14. So you should have an r value, a r squared value of 64, so 8 is the distance, right? And your center lies at 5, 2. Did I say 5, 2? Is that right? Of course it's right. X minus 5 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 64. Let's draw it. Negative 3. Negative 6 for y. And 13. Lies in the 1st quadrant. So it lies in here with the center. Value is x minus 5 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 64. What do you want?
No, I just want to see if you're making a video. Which one is that?
Making a video for accelerated geometry.
Oh, I thought I was going to be able to see it.
I'm doing the video now. Fans. All right. Hopefully you got that one. Good. Awesome. Let's move on. 15. Okay. Ends of the diameter is coming next. Ends of the diameter. Move along. Okay, that's a 10, and that's a negative 3. All right. So if I'm looking for the ends of the diameter, that means I can very easily find the midpoint, which is the center of the circle. Okay, so for number 15, the center of the circle is negative 15, comma, negative 9. Now I want you to think about this for a second. We can certainly use midpoint formula. We can certainly use distance formula and try to cut, not distance formula, midpoint formula and get that value. But really and truly, negative 18 and negative 12 is a value of 6 units. Negative 15 is 3 in the middle. So it's got to be in between the negative 18 and negative 12, right in the middle of that. Negative 8 and negative 10 gives me a value of 1 in between that, which is my negative 9. So, more fans. No doubt about it. Okay? Center of the circle, negative 15, comma, negative 9. Now, the radius of this is 10. Okay? So I'm going to work the process out of giving you 10. Well, r squared is 10, which is my bad value there. Okay? So I've got final value of x plus 15 squared plus y plus 9 squared equals 10. Okay? Now, when we talk about finding the radius, you're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem here for this. Okay? So the Pythagorean theorem will help me get my value of the center. And it doesn't matter which one of these you choose, but you're going to have to use that value appropriately. So let's take it out. Let's do the x differences first. So that's a difference of 3. So 3 squared plus negative 8 to negative 1. Negative 8 to negative 9 is a value of 1 squared, and that's going to equal c squared, or my hypotenuse, or the radius, right? So 9 plus 1 equals c squared. 10 equals c squared. Square root of both sides is 10. Root 10, but I'm squaring it anyway, okay? Which is going to give me just the value of 10. Okay? Pythagorean theorem is going to help you find the radius in these instances, okay? So go ahead and pause me, try number 16, and we'll see what you got. Again, that's negative 11, and negative 11, 3. Sorry, negative 3. Okay. Center of the circle is negative 11, negative 7. That's a terrible 7, sorry. And my r squared value is 16, so my original part was 4. Okay? So x plus 11 squared plus y plus 7 squared equals 16. Now let's work that out, right? So we're still at the negative 11s here, but the difference between those two is 8. Okay? So when I put that into Pythagorean theorem, I'll get 4 squared, which is 16. All right? Last one? Last one's 3 points on a circle. Yikes. Okay. The best way to work this out is, again, graph paper, but 2 of these values, 2 of these points is going to end up being the endpoints of a diameter. Okay. So when I worked this one out on graph paper a second ago, 0, 6, negative 1, 7, and negative 9, negative 3. The values that I'm looking at here will give me negative 9, negative 3, and negative 1, 7. All right? So that's my diameter. Okay? So we can use 2 things here. We can use an eyeball method to find the center, right? Or we can use midpoint formula. So when you figure out the midpoint formula of this, my center is at negative 5, 2. Okay. And my r squared value, or radius squared, is 41. Okay. We'll work more about this in class. I think I gave you a worksheet on this as well. Try number 18, and you're going to get a funky number for the end value, r squared. Center of the circle is 4, 0. Okay, with an r squared value of 250. Okay, so we've got x minus 4 squared plus y squared equals 250. Ready to go. Bye-bye.